You
Hold on, I'm gonna restart my thing.
should, because I'm warming up. It's
All right,
fine.
good.
Yeah. La 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 la. I am starting the show. Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Chemda.
I'm Keith Malley. This is Shalewa Sharpe. Shalewa, you're everybody's favorite, and it's so good to see you again.
Hello, everyone. You're my favorite too. That's not
Thank you.
true. I don't like
What?
anybody. I don't like anyone. What are you
Oh,
talking
that's
about?
fine then, as long as it's
Okay,
even. How's your
it
day
is.
going so far?
I had to break into my apartment a few hours ago. So I'm a little.
Wait, you had to or you get to? Let's stay positive. No, I'm kidding. What is this? What happened?
I ran out to the corner store to buy a little snack. And I say corner store, not bodega, because I don't know any Spanish. This will come
Mm,
up later. So I
okay.
don't feel comfortable saying bodega, but I went to the corner store, and when I got back to my apartment, I reached for my keys and realized that I had grabbed my work keys and not my home keys. And that meant that I had to deal with my landlord or his wife, and they speak all of the Spanish, and I speak again none of it. Um, and so there was a lot of kind of back and forth with the wife and a friend of hers, where I was just like, I think there's a way I can get in, but I have to go through your house to your backyard and through my window. And they do not want me to see what their house looks like at all.
Oh, that's
I
interesting.
That's my theory. They don't want me
Right.
in there. So the wife of my landlord just said, "Oh, break it." That I understood. And I said, "Break it? Are you sure?" And she went down there and she grabbed a tool from somewhere, and there's a it's one of these doors where it looks like a screen door, but it's made of metal, and where there would
I
be
have
screen,
those. Yes.
it's like plexiglass.
Okay.
So she pressed on some plexiglass that's probably the area closest to the doorknob. She just kind of pressed on it with the tool, and she's like, can't break it, and then put the tool back. And I was like, well, if you said I could break it. So I grabbed the tool and I really broke that plexiglass, and then got my hand in there and then just opened it up, and it was sadly easy peasy,
Right?
which
Mm.
I'm not thrilled about. And then I said, okay, well, I need to fix this. And she said, it'll be fine.
What? Who'll be
And I'm like,
fine?
Well,
I don't
you'll never have this trouble again.
know. No, I'll be dead. I'll be dead. I'll be dead. Someone just stole two large boxes of uh, cat litter from in front of my house. So you understand why I want to be safe.
Sure.
If they're taking cat litter, they will take me.
Right.
That's so
Uh,
weird. The other day we came back home and somebody left two Subway sandwiches and some potato chips in front of our house. So somebody else didn't get their sandwiches. Now you look at it and it was delivered like maybe an hour ago, and one of them is tuna. And I'm like,
mm,
whoever this is already dealt with it. It's garbage time. Except for
yeah,
the
for
chips.
sure.
We ate the chips.
Yeah, no, the chips, sure. Also, just having tuna delivered feels weird to me. Like that feels like a at home meal. Like you
Y-
make that at home. I want
I
to
under
keep my eye on the fish at all time.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the simplicity of making, like, if you're already getting tuna and bread, you just smear it. Instead, you had to call someone, somebody else had to pick it up and come get it for
Yes.
you, and
That
yeah.
there's that too. I mean, it is relatively easy. I mean, anyone who's doing too much to tuna is doing too much to their life in general.
Somebody's carrying your TV right behind you.
I would good for them.
Like, I don't
Because
know. They,
it's attached to a mount, and I can't get the mount off. So if they can carry this 1-ton television down the street, they can have it.
did they?
Everything in my
So
everything is booby trapped in this
your
house.
door's not fixed yet, right? Because this just happened.
No, it just happened. It's locked. It's locked in a way where you have to have a key to enter. But if I lock it from the inside, you need a key to exit and enter. So definitely, if there's a fire, I'm screwed. If I don't have my keys on me, which who's to say I will? But if you are also trying to break in, you can't just open the door. You have to also stick a key in there. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, I remember
Um,
I locked myself out, and you call and you see online it's like $35 they'll open your door. Of course, that's a
mm,
trick.
Mm-hmm.
They get there, it's 200 easily.
Yeah.
And,
Starting at 200.
and
Yeah.
they'll waste. I know this because I'm like, no, you lied to me, and I'm only paying $35. Fact. Maybe a tip. And he goes, no, it's $250. And I'm like, well, I'm not paying it. It was the dead of summer. I'm sweating in the little hallway before my apartment. He's like,
Right.
no, you'll pay. I was there. We were there for hours because I said I will not pay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was with somebody else, they would be like, be a human, and life got you today. And I'm
No.
like, no, I'm by myself. I'm not paying. I die in this hallway then. So the longer he waits, the more he's going to finally cave, and he does cave. And he has one of those things where you pop it into where you'd put your cake, and then you just hammer it real fucking hard and open the door. That's the art of these guys. But he kind of blocks it, so I don't know it's that fucking easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Wow.
very easy if you have the tools. But then if you have the tools, I feel like you're on the watch list. But yeah, no, they absolutely will. I've had to deal with locksmiths at least twice, and it was 200 just to get them to even get out of the car to say, what's the problem? Like
Yeah.
that's just off rip. And I mean, good for you for getting him to cave, but they usually will not, and they will just leave you there.
I
Like
also
this guy stood there, but I've definitely had one go, well, and then leave. I'm like,
I
oh.
also think they don't check enough if that's actually yours, and I think you could just call a locksmith on anybody's place. It's so weird. I had to call a locksmith on for some reason. I crossed the street, and when I was ready to cross back to a car,
Mhm.
I couldn't find the car keys, and I'm like, well, who the fuck could make car keys? It's like 1 o'clock in the morning or some shit. And the guy came, and of course he could say whatever price he wants, but
Mhm. Yeah, they've got you over a barrel. And it's wild when it's a car because it's just like, all right, thank you for your $500. And then they pull out just a Slim Jim and they just boop. And you're like, I literally would have just taken a brick to my window if I had known that this is what I'm paying for. I would have done it with a credit card.
Right.
When I first got my license, I used to lock the key in my car. Like, I want to say all the time, and I'm hoping that I'm exaggerating, but I feel like all the time is for sure like more than twice in the first year of me driving. And I would just, lock the door, close it, and then be like, oh, I'm the driver. The keys are still in the fucking ignition. Like, you just don't know. And what I would do is like, well, this is New York. Somebody's a thief here. And I would just look at some kids hanging out. I'm like, you guys know how to do this, right? And they always did. They
Yeah.
just would jimmy my car with something. I'm like, I'm not going to ask any questions. Thank you for your time. Would you like a slice of pizza or some of my dollars?
Here's $20. Don't do it on your own, okay?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. I definitely had enough people breaking into my car that I stopped locking the doors. I will leave at least one door unlocked because that way, if they try the doors, they can get one. They don't break a window. I'm not out money. I also try not to keep anything in a car worth a damn at a certain point. Once I had a crackhead break a small window, like in the back of the car, one of the little triangle, tiny little.
They think they're doing
windows.
you a favor, but those are
right.
harder
Those
to
are the
put back.
harder to replace. And then I had just gotten that car to replace a car that had been stolen.
Ugh.
And so this car, I didn't even have a chance to live in it yet. So all that was in there was spare change, and this crackhead stole only the silver change. So he broke the tiny window that was more expensive, and then left me pennies. And I was like, guess what? I don't lock anymore. Have at it. Y'all can have it. I can't with this.
It's true. That's such a good.
It's not. You can't say it 7
is.
times and I let it go. Instead, how about just keep your fucking key on you instead of playing Russian roulette with your car?
No. I'm talking about leaving your car open because you know it's going to get broken into. That's genius.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I also kept a dildo in the front seat at a certain point too.
Oh, I ain't gay. I'm out of there.
What? No, it stops people. I watch people like just kind of case the car and then go, oh no.
Oh
No.
my God, that's so smart.
Yeah, I got the kind that had a handle on it, like a sword, like a sword.
Oh my
hilt.
God.
And then the other half it was called the man rammer, and I would just have that in the front seat. And
I hire homeless people to fuck in my car when I'm in a restaurant or or the
You
grocery
you
store.
do not hire. They just do it for the love. They do it for the love. You
Yeah, I
don't
remember that.
have
Whatever
to.
first locksmith I called that day, uh, he's trying to find my place and can't find it. He goes, "Where the fuck are you? I don't fucking see you." And I go, "Oh,
They're
okay,
the
sounds good."
worst.
Click. Now I want you to break into my house. That's what. And so
Right.
he calls me back. He's like, "You just hung up." I'm like, "Oh, I figured this transaction was done, you dipshit." He's like, "Well, where are you?" I'm like, "I was sure it was extra done right now, dumb fuck." Well, I need to know where the fuck you are if you want me to help you. How does this keep going? I'm deliberately making it so we can't do business anymore. And I'm homeless.
I'm forgetting, did you end up using that same guy?
I don't think so. Or he acted like he was somebody else.
I see.
I think it was the same guy. Hello.
Probably was.
Like, oh, okay. How soon can you be here? Oh, I think around the fucking corner. Okay.
You know what? You mentioned putting a dildo on your seat. I remember one time,
Mhm.
again, when I was so much younger, just got my license. I got pulled over. I would get pulled over a lot. I would just do whatever I want driving. This is why they don't lend you a car until you're 25. Like, you cannot rent one because you're completely disrespectful. And that's how I was. And
Mhm.
so, you know, sometimes you're done with your bra. I would take it off, put it in the glove compartment. One time, my friend and I got pulled over. I reach into the glove compartment to get whatever I need to show him that I may or may not have. I don't know. We're both going to find out right now, officer. Anyway, the bra was in there,
Mm.
and the officer was, so just drive. Okay. Okay. Bye. So, and I was like, from now on, bra in the glove compartment. That's what comes out first. And now, when I'm around in the city, I'm like, look at all these children with cop uniforms. I forget they were probably just a couple of years older than I was when I first got my
Right.
license. And now here's just like a female, you know, with her
Yeah.
bra. They just got their police license, whatever, you know. So we're both like, oh,
Well,
and we just let
here's
it go.
here's the thing now with this younger generation, they are so accepting of so many things that now a bra in the glove box really ain't going to phase them anymore. And that's why I miss the old days. Not because we were so close minded, but man, back in the day, if you
Mhm.
flashed a tampon at a man, you were
Mm,
free to take anything from their establishment. Just get out quickly.
Yeah.
Like it was amazing.
And
I would
nowadays, the man might be able to use the
You're
tampon.
right, exactly. Exactly. I would go to shows. I went to a lot of concerts, and back in the day, they were like, no cameras. This is just be in the moment. And I'm like, that's cute, but I'm going to bring in a disposable camera. I'm going to take some pictures. I would put it in a pouch and then cover it with like maxi pads and tampons. Then when they're going through the purse, they're like, what's in here? And I'm like, you can look in. They look in, they see a tampon, and they're like, you're good. And I'm like, good, because it's literally a digital camera at the bottom of that you didn't even feel like
Right.
they
I
I
was I
missed
was a
that. I missed
teenager.
it.
I was a teenager and I had to pack for some little trip or whatever. And for some reason, my mother wasn't around for like a second. And my father's like, so did you pack everything? You know, all the things. I'm like, what is this new puzzle that I have to, because my father is, you know, conservative and can't talk to me about, you know, and that's not his, so you have everything you need. And I'm like, what am I supposed to have that he can't say? What could it be? And I'm like, are you trying to say underwear, dad? And he's like, oh, whatever it is that you need. And I'm like, holy shit. First of all, I'm a teenager. If I'm forgetting my underwear, fuck me. You know what I mean? And and fuck
I
you
mean,
too.
exactly. Yes,
Like,
exactly.
like, what did you teach me? If like you're concerned and can't even say, did you get my under? Everyone relax. I'm sure I packed some underwear, and if I didn't, I'll function without you not telling me about it.
I will say this, the night before my sister started college, luckily she went to a college that was about an hour away, hour and a half away. We packed up all her stuff, we put it in the car, we drove it to her new dorm room, we dropped everything off. Everything's fantastic. The next day, it's her first day of class, maybe just before, day before her classes start. And she calls and she's like, I forgot my underwear.
Don't call. Why is she calling? She needs to drop out.
No, 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 no. She packed it with all of the boxes, but it was a box she forgot. And so I'm like, you did what? And I go in her room and there's the box that we just forgot. So we just drove her. Did we drive it back or did we mail it? We may have mailed it because we were
Uh,
all too busy. So we just sent her underwear in the mail. Oh man, that's just so funny to me. Like, I get it. I mean, walked out with keys today. They
sure,
just
but
were the wrong keys.
you know what? Fine. I
Sometimes
gotta
you
call my
forget your
dad.
underwear.
I gotta call my dad and apologize
No,
for
I'm
the
just saying, for someone who
shit.
left your key in the ignition constantly, that's wild to me. Where were
Oh,
you living that you didn't have it hanging? You were not a latchkey kid. I wore my keys
no.
around my neck for the first half of my life, and I'm 50. So until I was 25, I wore.
Oh, I just remembered in
Mm.
my teenage years, my parents had a lock thing with a number, and I didn't have to carry a key
And
because I
that's
would.
why you weren't used to it.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
makes so much sense. I do have to call my father and apologize.
Look at that.
Shit.
I'm so sorry. I hate to be on the side of big parent, but but here we are. This is the problem with keys, and why I think I grabbed the wrong keys is that I now have too much responsibility, and with responsibility comes keys, and I wasn't prepared for that. I have my house keys, and then I have my office keys, and I'm the office manager, so I have extra keys there, not just to get in and out. And then I teach a class, and so I have keys to that establishment, and they're all just hanging on a hook, like, grab me. So I just grabbed
And you know what?
some.
I feel like you're in New York still, right? Because
Yeah.
this feels like a New York problem because I feel like if it wasn't New York, you would throw all those keys somehow together. But we need room, not just in our apartment, but on our person. Like you guys throw all your shit in the car, and half of your shit is in the car, and you could rely on it and blah, blah, blah. But I feel like, because otherwise, why aren't you putting all those 3 keys together and you never have to choose?
Well, because it's like each key ring has a minimum 3 to 4 keys on them, right? So I have them separate because I can't be one of those people that just has a giant ring with just keys on it that I have no idea what they go to. Like, I know people who just still have keys for apartments from like decades ago,
You never
and
know.
they're like, yeah, exactly. That's what they say. You never know.
You could have used
Whoever
that today.
bought that house.
Yeah.
No one else has that. I called my roommate and I'm like, oh, I'm locked out. But by the time he responded, I had just broken in,
Mhm.
and he was at work, and I was like, oh, I broke in, so you don't have to leave work. And he was like, no, you need me. And I'm like, all right, show this to your boss and then come on back. So whatever, I will gladly be the reason that you gotta leave work. So
Yeah, my locksmith story, by the way, it's episode 2897. Won't You Be My Neighbor? Lucy Pohl was
Oh.
on that episode. I locked myself out, realized that, but was going out with Kyle, and so I made it on time to the date. It was overnight. I come in the next day. All my stuff is done. So I'm ready to die now. I got laid. I'm fed. Everything's fine. I'm like, I will die in this hallway. I waited till after everything was done before I start sweating.
yeah, that's good. That's good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one
Have
where
you ever broken into a thing though? Have you ever broken into anything?
I was a kid and I locked myself out in the middle of winter. And I know that we hardly ever locked our back door, but the screen door was locked. So I thought like I can just take a cinder block or something and pop out this little plastic thing. It was glass and it shattered everywhere. And then the main door was locked anyway. I'm like, ugh. So then you can't tell my parents the truth. They made us liars. And so I said that, I heard somebody was out. Somebody broke the window.
No.
The screen. And so I went outside to see what that was and realized I locked myself out. It's like, you're a superhero now. You were going to go out there and fight people that are breaking in windows.
Look, that's a nice twist. Man, it's so imaginative.
Imaginative. Oh my God. Imagine how your parents couldn't sleep. Looking back, did they believe you?
No, not for a second.
Oh, okay.
No, not at all. No way.
But why not? Because I guess I don't go outside and experiment. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
like,
no,
this is the time I know the nature of my child. And this is the time he decides that he's going to defend the house.
Yeah, it's also easy to find out your kid's lying when they cave early. When when they go, well, okay, well, you have a job anyway, so you're gonna have to pay for that now. And you're like, still wasn't me, but absolutely. Good night.
Right. I didn't do it, but I'll gladly pay.
But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, also the door where our first studio was, if you put the latch on a certain setting, as soon as you close the door, it locks. And so we close the door and be like, fuck, we were just getting the mail or some weird shit.
Right. Yeah.
But I, with my skinny forearms, thank you, everybody. No, but I was able to go through the mail slot because we had like an old school, you can throw things into our house, which, by the way, was so scary when you didn't know that the post person was coming. And then all of a sudden you heard, boom, 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 boom. You're, oh, someone's in my house. Oh, no, it's just the bills. Okay. And so I would reach in and go to the side and like flip, flip, and do it. My fingers would have to be tough enough to flip just on the corner of the lock, and I would flip it, hear it, and then open it. It felt really cool.
It's nice when you're able to figure out a way into, I mean, like, I wasn't happy with breaking that plexiglass off, but I also was like, I mean, I got to get in here. I got stuff to do. I got these English muffins I just bought. Like, we gotta make things happen.
You feel so resilient. You're like, you know what?
Right.
Nobody can stop me. Not even me. Look at this, getting out of my own way. But in that same apartment, a friend of ours showed us how he can get in through the back. The back was on the second floor, and he climbed up the pole of the balcony. And maybe that door was open because we're like, who's climbing up the pole?
I think
he
knocked. He knocked.
Oh, fucking weirdo. Shout out to Spooky.
Midnight, pouring rain, and he knocks. And we're like, who the fuck flew here onto our balcony and needs to say hi in the middle of the night?
Oh, boy.
You said anytime.
I have a question for you. Where, we were just kind of discussing this on the podcast. I have a gas store. We were discussing hiding money. Where are good hiding places in the house for money?
Well, first of all, let me tell you my porn name. Okay, then I'll tell you the first dog I owned, and then we'll get to where I hide my money.
I just mean, like, because we named a couple of places where you could hide money, but then I was like, oh no, those are the first places that people go to. Your sock drawer or whatever. Like, well, absolutely.
I don't want to seem snobbish. I call it a bonk. And what I mean by that is it's
okay, buddy. So like they ain't running on them bitches right now. Okay, all right. You trust them? You trust them now? That's cute. But for the rest of us,
the ice chest.
Do you freeze? Yo, did you ever hear about like freezing credit cards when you didn't want to use them?
Sure.
Like you mean like just pressing a button on my app and so
no, I mean freezing them, putting them in a block of ice in the freezer.
I retract my no, believe it or not.
Okay,
what if there was a misunderstanding and it's like, oh, I freeze the card so I don't spend too much during Christmas. So they put it in the freezer. Great idea.
Okay, so all right. Well, I guess tell me that you weren't broke without telling me that you weren't broke. Nobody froze the credit cards.
We deep fried it. But
I think we just thought if somebody gets this and tries to use it, okay, because I tried to use it today at the time, and now who has credit cards? I bloop the shit out of things. Bloop, bloop, bloop. That's it. Anyone who doesn't take bloops and needs my actual card or cash, I'm not.
Do you have your number? Do you have your number memorized?
No.
Oh Lord. Okay. I don't know. I am new to the world. Well, I won't bloop with my phone. I like things separate. I don't need all of that. Oh,
like
maybe
pen and paper. You don't automatically send a check through the phone.
Well, I really had to like decide, okay, I'm going to see if this depositing check by mobile deposit thing really works. It's just wild to have this way of just here. It's a way you don't even have to leave your house.
Shalewa,
you can blah blah blah.
You're like it's still 1 year older than me.
But it's still a check. I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't take everything but I'm also black, so I don't trust anything. So like I'm always I've been this way since I was like 15, and I will always be this way as long as the man is trying to hold me down.
I
Why
see
would I? Why would
Rankin
I
is
use the
saying,
man's phone?
I've had friends that do that, froze at least 2 cards in a Tupperware. What was the race? Is it a racial thing?
That's what I'm wondering.
I've never heard of this. I do have the emergency end of the world cash in my house, but I frame the bills separately. I put them on the wall because people respect that and they don't touch it.
That's they think it's the first dollar you ever made in your apartment.
It's like, oh, this must be something meaningful to you. I'll respect that.
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't. Yeah, there's so much going on that phone, and I even just bought a new one, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to load it down with, personal information. Flip side, I just had to show one of my coworkers how to put a passcode on his phone because he didn't want to. He was just like, I don't want to have to put numbers in. I just want to lift it up and everything's open. And I'm like, my man.
Oh my God. He's raw dogging his phone around the world. Oh my God.
Until I told him you're insane.
Does he know about Face ID? Oh my God. How old is he? Oh my God.
Oh, he's like 80 something maybe.
Oh, okay.
No, not okay. Because he trusted enough to put all of his bank information in there, but not to like lock it up a little bit. And of course, he doesn't have the one with Face ID because that's everything is, they're not getting the new shit. They're not getting
right.
So it's like the thing is everybody figures out the point that they want as far as they want to go. Right. With all of the technology. So I won't go bloop with the phone, but I will tap my card. I'm like, that's fine. I don't like sticking it in there anyway.
Hilarious,
I don't know what's in there.
Because
I don't know what's been in there.
Apparently cocaine bear. Everybody's out there doing cocaine. They understood all the jokes. I don't need to mix my credit card in with that shit.
Yeah.
But if you get robbed, they can't bloop your phone. When I got robbed, they took my credit cards. They can't bloop my phone. They can use my credit card. They used it right away. Fuck credit cards. Bloop it.
Okay. But what are you blooping on the phone?
Every single thing. Name a thing.
But no. I mean, what is the bloop? Is it your credit card information?
Yep. I have a series.
So you still not physical or not? They're gonna get it.
No, you can't look at all the numbers. Oh my God. You see. But
I have cards in my wallet right now that somehow somebody used somewhere that have never left my person.
Me
and
too.
I'm like,
by the way.
And so, I mean, what was that? What was that?
I was just on the phone with Discover. I have the card in my wallet. Mm-hmm. Somebody for the past couple of days has been buying food in Pennsylvania.
I'm sorry, you have a Discover card? What?
Thank you.
You know what? They're still out here. Come down.
What, discovering teeth? What?
Yeah, no. The Discover card people are still out here. They walk amongst us.
What does that do?
No, what cards are hip? What does it do? I don't know. Discover said, you want a card? I said, thank you. Does it?
I mean,
you Discover? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, they're still out here.
Oh, I can't believe it. I'm old school, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, Hemda, there's no way. There's something you are steadfastly old school about. There has to be. There's no way you're of the new.
I'm sure there is, but when it comes to blooping, put it in my wrist. I don't give a shit. Bloop. Bloop. I'll bop it with my nose. Bloop.
Yeah.
Discover didn't give me any hassle. They're like, so how far back? And I'm like, the food items from the last couple days. And they go, okay, anything good for that? And I'm like, oh, how far can I go? All of it. I think, right? Anytime I ate. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I had like a company card or something where they would email me and they're like, hey, did you do this? I was like, I did not. And I looked in my wallet and went, mm-mm. And they went, all right, well, we'll just send you another one then because this is no good. And the card was with me the whole time.
I'm really getting credit card shamed on here. Blaine says, get an American Express card, Keith, while you're at it. No. I roll.
Oh, that's not cool, American Express?
It's cool. I guess not.
Well,
what's cool this season? Visa?
Not every place will accept it because I think Amex charges extra fees or something. And so a lot of like retailers are like, then we don't take it. So now everyone's like, it's not cool. I don't know. If the
wait till I tell you what
black,
airline I fly. Oh my God.
Oh, I
You're
just
still flying on planes?
Lame.
Oh,
Mr. New York.
jeez.
Give me a break. When Keith said he even had a door, I was embarrassed.
Oh my gosh.
Here's some exciting news, by the way. The Keith and the Girl 24-hour marathon. It's now available to the Kickstarter backers. So check your email, get the entire marathon. 24 hours. Don't forget. You've earned it. Click on that bonus hour as well. Everyone else, the marathon will be available at keithandthegirl.com/store next week. It's very exciting. Speaking of money, I pay my taxes. Are you caught up, Shalewa? Do you bother with that business?
Caught up with what?
Okay, very good.
So
So,
what?
yeah.
Someone
right.
say what? Who? Chalet who? That's not my name. What are
I
you
go on
talking about?
stage, I tell conversations. Now the government wants a piece of that? I don't see how.
No, never. I've
stay-
never met her.
Right. I stay out of her business. She stays out of mine, and we keep things moving.
I'm sure she means well, and she's certainly going to get to it eventually.
This, this IRS website, you can't find a fucking thing you're supposed to be looking for. But if you're on that make a payment page, you don't even have to hit the enter button the whole way down. It's like, got it. Plus, there's no spin and circle. Got it. And I'm like, well, what if we'll figure it out. We'll get back to you. Thanks.
it's already out of your bank
Account. Yeah. Like, how the fuck did you do that?
I thought did they hire people to work? Because I thought they, for a while, like lost a bunch of people and they're like, everything's going to take forever. Are we still on that?
with taxes. I think they say that all
Yeah.
the time. They're like, wait, one moment. I've been on one moment for, I'm not exaggerating, 2 to 3 hours. One time, like recently, our accountant was like, oh, if you need more information and the website is not giving it to you, give them a call. I'm like, what business are you in? Have you ever tried to call the IRS? You think you just call the IRS? I don't think
Oh.
I've ever reached a person. They have put me on hold. I tested it. Okay, today we're staying on hold with the IRS.
Mhm.
Hours, and then the phone drops. I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. The phone drops. It was in the same place. It's not like I went on some adventure.
Let me take a moment right here to tell anyone that is listening to us, if someone calls you and they say they are the IRS, they are lying to you.
That's what I told the IRS. That's what I told them. I said, you're not allowed to do that. Shalewa said, click.
Yeah, if they are calling and they say they don't call, they will mail a whole tree's worth of letters to you, but they will not call. So if someone does call and they say they're IRS, you are about to get got. Please hung up. Hung up. Like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, they won't call you, but you can call them.
Yeah, but you can call them and wait for them. Clearly, they don't have enough people to call you if you call them and they don't even but so if someone's doing that, they're lying to you.
That's true.
The New York Republican representative George Santos that we've been talking about, we know these motherfuckers lie, but this guy was like, his grandparents were in the Holocaust, they were never there. He's Jewish, they're not even Jewish, they always lived in Brazil. The mom was in 9/11 and died in 9/11, and then later got sick 2 years later. So it makes a whole bunch of shit. He had a landlord back in a roommate back in 2017, and the roommate saying that George Santos ran a card skimming operation. He was one of these people that he gets your credit card, he starts running it.
I believe that. Sure.
He's under investigation.
What's wrong?
How many lies is he allowed to get?
I don't know. I mean, what?
He said starting now. He said starting now. I realized I wasn't telling you 100% of the facts. Yeah, I know, son. You broke the door. I didn't tell you 100% of the facts, but from now on, I'll be more clear from now on. So if we're talking about 2017 scamming cards, that's from then back. We're talking now on.
Oh, so from this day forward.
Yeah.
Like the current day.
Now. Right.
Right now forward. I'm being straight with you. But if you bring up anything I said yesterday, that's the past.
And because now I've changed, I'm free to go on social media and shit on the president and the Democrats and what's going on in government with no shame, because I said starting now. Biden should go starting now. And it's like, goddamn, you're good. You're after me.
By the way, Shalewa, back me up if I'm right. Is this not just like dating dudes with the starting now? They love starting now.
That is kind of a tactic. That is
Is that what?
that was back in the why you always bringing up old shit is something I hear a good
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
Or like they're so confused. Like, oh, that's what you meant. Okay, start over. Obviously, I'm not going to do that again. It's like, oh, okay. Oh,
I
you
will.
didn't know to not put your penis in that place. Oh, okay, okay. Let me list all the places. Here's
It really is
Here's-
about communication.
here's
is.
a
No.
You gotta
directory. Here's the
just,
yellow pages. Don't put
guidance.
your dick in that.
just guidance. I gotta say, America seems to be very taken with George Santos. Is it? Yes. And I want to be as well, but he's not doing it for me. You know what I mean? Like the lies are. I mean, all right, sure. I guess maybe there are so many of them, but they're not flash. He's not flashy enough for me. I need a little more. I need
This
a.
new credit card scam is not pushing it over the edge for you.
His
Not
drag,
really.
the drag
No.
queen acts that he did and says he didn't do, that's not flashy enough.
Even that is like not enough. I don't know. When I look at him, he bores me. Do you know
Right.
what I mean? And I don't think I've taken in so much stuff that I need you to be extremely just over the top. But I'm like, just in general, if you were a TV show, I would not binge you. I would not. I would watch 1.5 episodes and then I'd go, I kind of don't care what happens with this dude. So I kind of don't believe that anyone suffers from consequences anymore. So there's no feeling that all of this stuff that's coming out, one of them will be the thing that makes America go, nope, we can't get this guy out of here. Clearly that doesn't work. We don't do that anymore. So now I just feel like anyone coming out with a bunch of lies behind them, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't, until not handcuffs. I don't even want to see you in handcuffs. I want you full on chained wrist to your ankles, orange. Like I want you locked down before I'm like, oh, then maybe he will answer for something. But right now, I don't get a sense he will, and that takes away the fun. Because this show could go on forever with no ending.
Isn't there a nice lesson though you can take from him about believing in yourself?
I mean, I do stand-up comedy. So you don't have to talk to me about delusion. I'm there. I'm there. So that's not it. I just need a little more zhuzh. I don't know. It's not doing it for me, honestly.
It always comes down to the zhuzh, folks.
It's always the zhuzh.
You gotta have zhuzh. You zhuzh it up if there's no zhuzh. Zhuzh yourself.
Like he's giving me nothing.
What do we think about, we've heard all this talk before, but now even Trump is saying it himself that he will be arrested this week. This is with the hush money with Stormy Daniels, the NYPD. I've seen it. Have put up barricades for the protests that Trump is already calling for. He's calling for riots. Like that should be a sign not to be president. I don't know all your responsibilities, but that's one, not starting riots.
How desperate is it? You know what? Calling for your own riot is like throwing your own surprise birthday party.
Right.
Like no one's coming. No one's coming to your riot. I'm sorry.
It's like asking friends. It's asking friends to give you a nickname. Like, what are you doing?
No. It's coming up with your own nickname,
right?
And asking friends to call you that,
Haas
which I
here.
did in 9th grade, and it did not work.
Oh my god! I also tried in 9th grade. It was the saddest moment.
I put it on the back of my drill team jersey, and no one called me that at all.
Please tell us what it is. Please tell us what it is.
It was Ducky, after the character in Pretty in Pink.
I love you so much.
Maybe the saddest character in Pretty in Pink, but he was my favorite one.
Oh my
and
God.
I put that on my drill team. No one ever called me that. No one could even say my name. So I think they were still struggling with that. And then they were like, we're not throwing Ducky on top of this.
Right.
Can you be Ducky and I'll be Daria? And then it'll just be like, that'd be so fun. Can I call you Ducky now? I'm getting way too excited about this.
I think I just compared this to Donald Trump, but all right, you guys work your thing out. And no one will know, and we'll say we were born with it forever.
No one will. Yeah. There's just such a flop sweat and sadness to like put out the barricades because you guys are going to riot, right? And then I feel like, I don't know, the last time you told us to go meet you somewhere.
You weren't there. You kept us hanging. I'm in jail now for 4 years, and you never showed up.
Showed up. So maybe not this time.
Yeah, another person got the goods. A Virginia man who assaulted police with a stolen baton and used a flashing strobe light to disorient officers at the January 6th riot was sentenced Tuesday to more than 4 years in prison. Jeffrey Sills of Virginia. Now, remember, I know this has got to be weird for some people because the riots never happened, but this guy's in jail for 4 years, and they drew video, I guess. Jeffrey Sills of Virginia. Like, wait a minute, is that a TV or is that just like a border? It's a frame and it's live action behind that. The lawyer grabs through the frame and goes, "That's not even a video." They never happened. When Fox News showed the riots, because they have to, you literally have to. When they showed the whole world is showing it, so yeah, you do kind of have to. So they showed it then. Were they thinking like, that's gonna haunt us later, but let's get some ratings today?
Oh, no, Fox is good for just being like, you know what? Let's just talk about another thing. You can flip through and it's just like riot, riot, riot. 3 blonde women talking about something else. Like they just will truly ignore it.
But I did happen also. I saw it on Fox News as well, this riot. And, then now they never saw it.
I think it's really accurate that my parents watch Fox News. As I understand, they watch it all day. And it's because it's how I grew up. We'd be like, look at this fucking mess at night. Everyone blow up. This is how I really feel. I'm crying. You're crying. Everyone's upset the next morning. It's a different chat. It's like a different channel. I don't know. Totally different programming. Breakfast at the table. No one's apparently upset at anything. Everyone's good morning. And the day goes on. Yeah, it takes the whole day for you to be angry at someone. That's all. They would just be like, nope, that didn't happen. Basically, that didn't happen, so there's nothing to talk about.
Right. Jeffrey Sills convicted of assault with dangerous weapon, obstruction of Congress, and robbery for his role in the violence of the Capitol's Lower West Terrace Tunnel, where police were beaten and crushed as they tried to beat back the angry mob of Trump supporters. And this is a right-wing paper I'm reading. Sills, 31, had already served 1.5 years behind bars, so that's good. During his June 2021 arrest, he arrived at the Capitol with a gas mask and goggles, threw several pole-like objects at police, stole a police baton from an officer, and hit at least 2 officers with it. He also pointed a strobe light at a line of officers in the tunnel. This is zhuzh. This is zhuzh. Right. You want to know this guy.
We could use this at whatever the riots would be for Donald Trump that he's trying to organize. We need dudes like this.
And
he said, boots on the ground.
Hey, if George Santos can I say I wasn't there? And George is like, that time is over. That was Tuesday.
That was the old.
We moved from then on. Yeah. I took everybody's start over, by the way, and I used it today. But supposedly Trump is excited about getting arrested. Supposedly him and his team want to make it as public as possible. It shows that it's Biden that's actually doing this. And Biden's doing it because Trump is the bigger threat, not DeSantis, for example. So I don't know if he's lying. I love it. But no, he could really love it.
I think he does love all the talk. Like
I think he just says what the next thing an egomaniac would say. Good, I love it.
Good, yeah.
I wish you would arrest me twice. I actually love getting arrested. So why don't you come?
Is he going to Rikers?
Right.
No, he's not going to Rikers. I think he's going to be all right. Unless he's going to some very small town. No, he's not. He's going to wherever
the trial won't even be in a year later, So it's
he's not finishing out the day. He's not finishing out the day. Something will happen. That's why I can't get excited. That's why I'll never go to his riot, because he will be out before we get to our destination where we're supposed to going. He's already going to be there or not. So it's not.
He's wrapping up the hamburgers and stuff. He's like, we're closing up now. I'm like, I just climbed the wall. Like an asshole. Let's see. Trump's team, supposedly they are very pumped about this. Quote, the Manhattan, this is a source, whatever that means. Manhattan DA, NYPD, and even the Department of Justice were trying to work out a quiet handover coordinated with the Secret Service. And Trump was having none of that. If an
No.
indictment was or an arrest was going to happen, he wants it to be public.
Mm-hmm.
Trump's people say try and film and document whatever happens. They want a shot of him in cuffs, and they'll release the mugshot. They're loving this stuff.
They absolutely are. Remember that glorious time when Trump had COVID? And he came out of the hospital too early, and he walked up those stairs to like the balcony, and then stood there trying to breathe.
I remember that.
He wants that. I was like, yo, you about to fall over, my man.
He wanted that. Right.
Like, you've never walked upstairs. You're scared of stairs. Right. We know this about you. That's what he wants. He wants that kind of spectacle again. He wants things that can be airbrushed onto a t-shirt. That's what he's thinking. He's thinking merch. He's thinking merch.
Trump will get all the media. He will argue he is the leader of the party and the best shot against Biden, which is why he's being attacked. His people are licking their chops. They are pumped. Next thing he'll do right after is a rally. Yeah,
perhaps. But, some shit went down at Vanderpump Rules, that TV show, someone cheating on someone and being married and blah, blah, blah. I feel like we'll still talk about that even while he's being arrested. I don't even watch the show, but I have a feeling no one's paying attention to Trump in that way anymore. He burned us out on it by doing by having that kind of energy every 2 days. We are exhausted. So now that he hasn't been able to, and he wants to come back out, and it's like, hey man, I've gone back to not knowing who's in the cabinet. I'm happy again. So yeah.
Do you think we had someone on the other day, and he was like, there's no chance of Trump getting elected. Granted, he said that the first time Trump got elected, he said there's no chance. Do you think there's a chance?
There's always a chance. That he was elected the first time make me think, oh, I don't understand this country at all. So there's always a chance, because Ron DeSantis looks good to Washington. You know what I mean? In a way where he can do the stuff that they kind of had Trump doing, but he can a little bit talk the talk, and he definitely has very dangerous ideas. He's trying to, I don't know what he's trying to do. Yikes. But he looks good to DC. And there's so much of the country that still doesn't trust Washington. So even if DeSantis makes sense to Washington, people are not going to trust that. But Trump, he's still his own man. There are too many people out here who think they're their own man, and they will still kind of fall in line a bit with Trump to a delusional amount. And so, I mean, I can't rule anything out, but I don't want it to happen, but if it did happen, there is still a small part of me that's like, yeah, these guys we spent all this time thinking that we're exceptional individuals, and now this is what that gets us.
Even as a kid, I knew that the teachers were full of shit when they said, okay, you're voting for class president. It's not a popularity contest. Well, of course it is. And it will be, as I'm an adult also. I feel I don't think I have siblings that wouldn't know the name Ron DeSantis. It's because they don't talk about this. Why would they? They don't live in Florida. I remember when Giuliani was called the mayor of America. America's mayor. Let me tell you something. America didn't know that. Only New York City knew that.
Right.
My brothers didn't know that. My sister didn't know that. Of course, it's name recognition, and we knew Trump's name before he ran.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I could see, muckety mucks in Washington falling behind, being okay with DeSantis being the new leader, but America doesn't. They still remember the Trump dude.
That's what I think.
And they still, yeah. So that's why I'm like, you can never fully, until he is dead and cremated, you can never fully count him out.
It also depends what day you catch me. Just the other day, I'm like, everybody hates a loser. They don't want to be associated. But today, I'm like, people don't know DeSantis.
I don't know why everybody hates a loser. Most of us are losers.
Well, starting now, I'm not.
Most of us have lost, especially over the past few years. We've lost a lot. So
that was then.
It's not so much that we hate a loser, is that we hate someone who's like, I'm a loser. Trump has never said that.
I see, right?
Then
Because
that's
then they're
what
not a
people won't.
loser.
They're
Right.
no, I'm not. I never said it. You never caught me saying that. Yeah, I've never accepted that. So
Yeah.
as long as Trump never accepts he's a loser, then no one else will.
So then I'm not a loser because I acknowledge that you're not a loser, even though just between us, we all did kind of
Well, but we're
loser
all
shit.
kind of losers. Yeah,
And
we
I-
move in loser
right.
circles. Yeah.
I just lost my job. My wife left me. But you know what? I don't want to acknowledge I'm a loser. So please don't pay for my college, and please let me struggle for
Yeah.
health care because I'm no fucking loser.
Right. I can do this. I can do this. They just didn't understand how much I'm going to win. How much I'm going to win.
Right. Oh, it's coming any day now. Starting
Any
tomorrow,
day
it
now.
seems. Check the mailbox. Well, starting next week, I guess. Stormy Daniels has beefed up security over a series of death threats for her role in former President Donald Trump's possible arrest. She has responded to a number of people who have sent hate-filled tweets calling her, quote, a worthless whore. That must be good conversations. A degenerate prostitute. You whore. Trump fucked you. You whore. Degenerate prostitute and extortionist who should be in prison. However, as
But
well
if
as
she
the
should be
threats,
in prison, shouldn't he? Do you break the law together on that one, right?
no one's saying prison. We're saying death. That's what these people are saying. They don't really mean prison. However, as well as the threats, there have been a rise in demand for merchandise and X-rated pics, according to a tweet from Stormy Daniels. Quote, had so many orders come in today. I'm not even mad about having to go to the post office twice. Well, first of all, don't tell the public you're going to the post office twice. Okay, let them try to find you.
They know where she is. She's filling their orders. That's all that you're a whore, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, buddy.
Right.
How many videos do you need? How many did you want to download? What are we talking about?
Did that happen when you worked in a porn store? Would they return tapes and go, here, you can have these whores back? What are those sluts we have?
I
They're
mean,
disgusting.
No, because they were scared of talking to
Yeah.
actual women.
Right.
And we had a lot of women on staff. So now if they got mad because they had to pay late fees or they feel, there were definitely times when a customer would buck up and like throw some things and get real mad and real tough guy. And we're just like, get the fuck out of here then. If you cannot rent here again. And they hear that, but they don't believe it. And then when they came back in to rent again, and we're like, oh, yeah, no, you're banned. You can't rent here again. Suddenly, oh, wait, hold on, Miss Lady. I'm so sorry. but what about, no, I didn't mean that. You caught me on a bad day. A bad day.
I don't even know those words.
By the way, you all with the internet in your hand, do you hear what they used to have to go to get porn? They had to be nice to women. Like for like a minute, like
they didn't have to, but if you wanted your stuff, you certainly it would behoove you to. Just
now they have to behoove. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anybody ever amaze you? Like, are you watching these or do you just forget and come back the next day? Because how can you jack off that much? Anybody ever blow your mind?
What about how many movies they were getting?
Yeah. How many movies? How fast they return them?
No, because so many people were returned. Because we had like a special where you got like a bunch of them at once, and it was like a cheaper rate, a cheaper rental rate. So people would take advantage of that. So like on average, you're walking out with like 5-6 movies. And I was just like, oh, well, the thing is, we know they weren't watching them all the time because they weren't always rewinding.
Right.
So we know you just watch till you're done, and then maybe you go to the next one, or you're dubbing them.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you pop it immediately into the automatic rewinder, or would you sometimes try to see where they ended up because you want to know?
No. When and I may have mentioned this before on here with a cassette, you see the tape in the little window, and when there's a part that's played a lot, that part of the tape kind of raises up a little bit because it's constantly played. Okay. So we can tell, with this particular movie, whatever happens here it affects a lot of people. And no one ever watches from that point on. Like up until here is the spot. But no, we wouldn't put in anything to play unless it was something we wanted to check out ourselves. But yeah, we didn't really just have.
I
Yeah,
can picture a clerk doing that, and by that I mean a male, of course. He puts it in. He goes, "Oh, she came to the part in the laundry room," and then the woman comes in the next instance, and he goes, "Hi, hey, you want to do laundry sometime?" You know.
yeah. No, no. Anyone that lame would not make it in that store because you think you'd be cool and everything, and you'd be able to
Mhm.
like talk to someone. First off, hardly any women came in as customers,
Right.
and when they did, customers ran away. Like, oh
Oh yeah.
no, yeah. It's like lifting the rock, and there are all these ants underneath, and you're, "Ah!" So that wasn't a thing. And then you had to, in order to make it, working there, you had to just remember it's a video store. You just need to be chill overall, um, because the customers are probably going to be kind of goofy. But if you were
Right.
kind of goofy back, the customer would see themselves in you, and then they'd go, "Oh no," and they may not go. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you need to be chill, so they're like, "Good, no one's judging me." But if you are like kind of goofy with someone, and they're like, "Oh no,
Yeah, I don't need jokes.
that."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my stuff.
Ryan V wants to know, did you wear gloves to touch the porn
We
tapes?
did get to a point too, because as I say, that's why my
Wait,
show is
that's
called Don't.
different. That's
What?
different. You got to a point. What was that? Where? Who? What was
Well,
the turn?
because people were always returning slippery movies.
They
Stop
kept
it.
saying it fell in the snow, and it's like it's June.
No, yeah. That's why my show is called Don't Reach in the Bag.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, so yeah, but customers always felt a little weird about it, and we would just say, "Clean your movies." Like, don't bring this stuff. Anyway, yeah, so sometimes we did. Yeah, some
Be
I
people
don't get.
did.
kind,
Wait,
clean, fine.
I don't understand. They would jizz, and then how did the jizz get on the tapes? Go in
It's
a
not
machine.
necessary. It's
They
not
hold it up to
jizz.
the light.
I don't understand.
It's not always
It's
jizz. I
lube. It's
mean,
lube and
it's
stuff.
lube. It's lube. So you got
Oh,
it on your, yeah. Yeah, dude,
oh, I
sometimes they
see.
use lube. Yeah. So you got fingerprints and stuff. So we had to wipe them down. It
I
was,
would say the
yeah.
brand I use, but I don't want to be shamed on this fucking platform. Jesus.
Holy,
And
just
you
wash your
will.
hands for who touches things after they put lube on stuff?
Come on now, Hemda.
Okay, fair. All right.
Come on.
Okay, no, fair. No, that's
Just be normal when you take
If the
15
if the
tapes out on a
first thing
Tuesday.
if the first thing you think after you nut is I need to wash my hands, you have bigger problems than that
okay.
than returning a movie with a fingerprint on it.
I just think by the time I have to deal with the tape, maybe I've washed my hands. Maybe I took a nap already. Maybe it got on my own bedding before it would get on the fucking tape. Is the tape right by the? You have to get up, no, to get the tape. I don't. All right, forget it. Everyone's cool. Yep. Bad Beef says
Yeah.
just straight into the VHS slot. Yep.
That's what Hendo was picturing.
We used to joke about that kind of thing, but no, yeah, it's lube, maybe jizz. We don't question, because the more you think about it, the more you realize your station in life, and really, we're just trying to get through a shift. So
I really think we should continue like elbow to elbow to say hi instead of shaking people's hands. There's a lot of people.
you can do that now, still, can't you?
I know. I think I'm gonna. I feel like now you feel like you're reminding people of a pandemic when you do that.
I wear a mask inside most places when I'm at a show. The only time I will take off a mask is usually when I'm performing, like
Right
as
where the
yeah.
microphone is from the other degenerates.
Well, once we realize it wasn't spittle, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I also brought my own mic a lot, or I take a cover, whatever it is. I mean, but yeah. So if you're that person, also if you carry yourself in a way, people will be like, oh, you're not doing handshakes or
Yeah,
whatever.
I honestly think I would rather hug everybody than shake their hand.
Oh, that's wild.
You don't think so?
No, but you
shaking-
know what? I'm
What's
comfortable
on your
on my
what's
arm
on
with
your
my
hand?
arms crossed. Huh?
What's on your hand?
I don't want to touch nobody.
All right, but I'm
What's on your
touching like
jacket?
most likely the back of your jacket, the back
Yeah.
of your sweat. I can
Look,
handle that.
that's been up against a pole on the train. I'm good with not touching anyone unless I need to. So I have a mask on. I stand with my arms crossed. I already have my demeanor people tend to leave me alone. You actually have a very friendly, loving demeanor, so that could be a problem
I'm
for
not
you.
gonna take that as a compliment right now for some reason.
Oh, we don't like it. No.
No,
But
I
based
mean,
on words, it's what you have.
I'm telling you to tighten up is what I'm telling you to do.
Yeah, you're not telling me my strengths. You're telling
Yeah,
me how to
yeah.
go about life.
You gotta tighten up, quit booping everywhere, and you'll be all right. You'll be fine.
Anybody come into your store, try to overcompensate for being nervous. Hello, my lady. Puts the hand out to shake. I'm here to find some pussy, and I'll be right back.
No, what are
No?
you doing?
I don't
mean,
know. I
people
can
do
picture it.
come in and they are kind of loud and boisterous, and you just let them be however they want to be.
Yeah, see?
Did
Yeah,
you
but-
ever catch me and my friends going into the porno store? Here's how we would do it. We'd be like, we're in here now. Okay. And then we'd huddle and we'd walk in a huddle and then we'd open some stuff and giggle and then we'd hide and then we'd go to another spot and be like, ooh, this is a whole genre. And then we'd look at some pictures and then we'd kind of sneak out and go,
Mhm.
thank you, bye.
This
yeah,
was last
and
week.
usually, when that happened, it was college kids from nearby universities, and they would come in and they'd look at stuff and they'd laugh together and they'd giggle, blah blah blah, and then at some point they all kind of broke off, and then just started shopping for themselves.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
I'm gonna ironically go over here.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So as a group, they may ironically rent this movie or something after making sure it won't show up as smut on their parents' credit card.
Oh.
and
What does it show up
then-
on the credit card as?
As the actual name of the company, not the name of the store.
Okay.
Yeah, it would come up as another like business name.
I would know though. You know, anytime there's a charge that says Happy Times Inc., it's like, all right, bring the kids in, family conversation.
Okay, well, that's a shame if you go to some place that's called Happy Times Inc.
You don't know till you get the bill.
That's not what it's called. That's not what it's called. But yeah, and
Is
then
it-
usually
is it
someone
called-
from
Is it called
Mm-mm.
something like a law firm? Like
not a law firm? It's some just very like generic. It would be like some kind of
Stanley and
generic-y
Murphy.
word. No names, just a word, and then you're like, all right, whatever. Like this could be a corner store for all we know.
totallylegit.com.
Yes, that's it. It's totallylegit.com.
Are you not saying in case you have to go back there sometime?
No,
That's tough.
I'm not saying because I don't know if they use it. I don't know how litigious they are. And frankly, you didn't work there, so y'all don't need to know.
Right. I didn't earn it. didn't
Yeah,
earn
you
it.
did not earn it. I was there 7 years. I get to know what the word is. Y'all don't.
Can you do a sounds like? Sounds
No.
like- Okay. All right.
Mm-mm. I am Fort Knox right now. Well, I ain't telling you that.
Where's the store at again?
Not telling you. It's in
There you go.
Atlanta. It's in Atlanta, which honestly won't help you any because there are quite a few of them in Atlanta.
I know them all. You'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what you want to do. If I want to see the solo show, Don't Reach in the Bag, where do I go, Shalewa? What did you just tease?
Oh, it's my solo show called
Yeah?
Don't Reach in the Bag. The next time I'm doing it is April 20th through the 22nd at Moon Tower in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
The Moon Tower Comedy Festival. I'll be doing it Memorial Day weekend in Portland, Oregon
Okay.
at the Clinton Street Theater on the May 28th. And then I'm lining up a few places in New York to do it as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I will be there. I will be
Yeah.
there.
All
I'm
right. So keep
excited.
an eye on shalewasharpe.com and
Mhm.
social media is at Silky Jumbo.
Yep.
Oh, that's the name of the fucking company.
No, no,
All
no.
right.
But people think it is. People
course
think
they
it
do.
is. When they find out what Silky Jumbo is, they are very sad.
And I'll mention this weekend is stand-up writing time for one Keith Malley. So get your tickets now. The show is in 3 weeks.
Where does the time go?
Not kidding.
Not to writing.
Not to writing. How do you motivate yourself? Because I'm like, I do a yearly show every April
Mhm.
15th is the first
Right.
time after, since COVID.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I'll get on it any day. And then next thing you know, it's like, okay, if I do it before January, the way I work, that's so far ahead.
Mhm.
Okay. Now if I do it 2 months before the show, I rate it in a month, I memorize it basically in a month, that'll be good. All of a sudden, I blink, Shalewa. It's 3 weeks away.
Okay. So here's what I would ask of my students when we talk about this. First of all, how
I don't have
do
time
you
for
like
this
to
class.
write?
It's in 3 weeks.
I'm giving you the short, cheap
Okay.
version. How do you like to write? Do you like to write stuff down, or do you
Yes.
like to talk it out? You like to write it down.
Yes.
When do you come up with any ideas?
When I sit down and do them.
Really? You don't just come up with them while you're doing other stuff?
Sure, and maybe I'll make a note of that. So I do have a
Yeah.
folder of notes.
Yeah, there you
Kind of.
go. Great. And just stick those together. And then, I don't know, talk them instead of write them, maybe. Like literally record yourself saying
Oh, I
it.
do. Oh, I talk to I practice to my stuffed animals, and I turn the TV on a little bit as if that's heckling.
No, that's when you already wrote it.
Yeah. But
That
as far as coming up with ideas, I don't know. I come up with stuff in the shower.
I'll take a shower. Okay, got it.
So I would recommend a shower. And
I
then
come up
maybe
with
a
stuff on
walk.
my bicycle if you want to take a nice bike ride with
That
some
sounds
Yeah,
like a
animals
I
in
go
it.
for a walk. I mean, I come up with premise and punchlines in the shower, and then tags when I'm walking. So,
I do callbacks when I'm bike riding.
Yeah.
I do switcheroos in the shower,
Yep.
and I do misdirections when I'm swimming.
I mean,
what
there you go. You're good.
Here's what I think you should do. Okay, here we go. Email or somehow text Craig your topics, and then he calls you and says, Keith, what do you think of, I don't know, the insurrection? And he records it, or you record it, because whatever you think about any of these topics is going to be exactly what you write down, because Keith doesn't have to memorize that much. He just has to organize what he thinks about it.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
Nothing.
What are
I
the
don't want
things
to
that
do this, Shalewa. I don't want to do it. It's been happening
Okay.
so much. I can't
Well,
stop
then,
now, Shalewa. So
why
let me
don't
save you there.
why don't you just put ideas in a bowl and literally have someone pick it out and say something to you? Like that's your special. Oh, come on, son.
Like
Come
what
on,
happens?
son.
It sounds like
You-
less work. What is this?
You have a couple of ideas. You have some ideas,
Right.
and you put them in a bowl, and then you
Right.
let someone from the audience just kind of pick one and call it out, and then you can just go off on it.
Am I improvising, or is it a trick? Like,
It's not a trick, because you know how you feel about it, and it may be based on some rant that you've said before about it. You can go ahead and do that. That way you don't have to worry about memorizing. You just know how you feel about it, right?
Right,
So you just have those ideas. So then you don't overthink the idea. You just fucking, like someone says, do a set about how you don't want to do a set. So then you're like, I don't want to do this. And then you go on about how you don't want to do it and how it was a hassle and how you got to this point, blah, blah, blah. Boom. You just killed 10 minutes right there.
And I go, and thank you. Fuck you very much.
Yeah.
Everyone
And
did to
then
be here.
And then, everyone would, oh my goodness. And then the audience gets to decide, like, come on, bruh.
All right.
Okay, I say tonight's the chat. Every Wednesday night we meet at keithandthegirl.com/chat. It's a Zoom thing, and we're all on there.
And it's always free. So today everybody has to bring a joke.
Well, I say we all bring topics.
Bring a topic.
We throw them at you. You tell us what you think about it, and then that's your whole.
That's
thing.
it. That's your right. That's literally they're going to help you.
And then
write
we play that video on April 15th.
Right. And then all you have to do is just lip sync. All you
Yeah.
got to do is just go up there and move your arms around like you're saying it. Boom.
Right.
Look how easy this is. I'm a procrastinator. I'm not trying to get you to work any harder than the night before.
Thank you. I appreciate
there you
it.
go.
All right. So something about bowls, and it's going to be fun. KeithandTheGirl.com/tickets. You'll see everything there. The week actually begins on April 12th. It's a whole week of events. April 12th is when the party starts. KeithandTheGirl.com/tickets. Shalewa, thank you so much for your time. We adore you.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
That's it. I'm going to end the broadcast. Thank you, everybody.